I'm telling you. I'm really, really hot. Do not look at my hair. Let me turn the chat off here. There we go. Hey, everybody, how's it going? We are also going live on TikTok. So you can be there if you want to watch the clouds. But okay, hang on. Hush you. Oh, credidud. Where did my chat go? Give me a second. I hate it when this happens because then I have to move this. And I had it set up so lovely. Pop out the chat. Now let's do F11. There we go. And we're just going to bring it on over here. And then I'm going to put it on live chat. And this, frig-a-dig. Okay, I'm just going to leave the chat up. I'm not even going to look. Hey! Oh, but the chat is, okay, let me do it this way. All right. There we go. Hi. How's everybody doing? Today is Thursday, the 6th of January. And oh my goodness. Anybody on a spiritual journey right now, or anybody on a journey to mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness? Wow. You think, oh, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to get centered, healthier, and all these things. What they don't tell you is that when you're clearing and meditating on getting more centered, shit starts to hit the fan in your life. Anything to distract you from the path. And it's not deliberate on people's part, right? Because every time somebody works towards a better path, a better connection with the spiritual realm, there's saboteurs out there that, the dark side works twice as hard to get to you. And it's really, don't look at my hair. I had a shower yesterday and it was all beautiful and laid down flat and everything. But for the last, 12 hours, I've been doing this a lot. So I guess that's not too bad, eh? Hell. It's true though, Joe. Oh God, am I on live chat? Yes, I am. It's true though, Joe. I'm not going to bore you with the details of my private life, but I'll tell you something. Getting to sleep last night was not easy. Howie and I have been watching this program. Hey, Oklahoma Proud, how are you? I can't even see how many people are here because of my clouds. Hang on a second. Good connection. I don't have anybody here. It says I don't have anybody here. Anyway, we've been watching this show called The Expanse, and we're all caught up. And there's this character named Amos Burton, or his original name was Timmy, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tigger bouncing. And you know what? Let me finish this first so that I don't get lost and not complete my thought. So we've been watching this show called The Expanse. And without going into detail, they give us the impression that Amos is a sociopath. He doesn't feel emotion at all because he was born into a brothel. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And he said at one point in the show, I stopped fearing. The last time I felt fear was when I was 5. Right. So throughout the show, you see him now starting to, and it's almost over, right? It's almost over. And we're in our last season, I think. And the muffin tin thing. Okay, tell me about that in a minute. Ask me about that again in a minute, Stephen. So he said the woman who raised him called most of life was the churn. And you're either on the bottom or you're on the top, but it never matters because eventually life churns you up and throws you in a different direction. It's called the churn. And I went, wow, what a great analogy. Because it's not necessarily life. It's the more. Hey, from Newfoundland. Hey, Betty Ben. Is it Benoit? Sick of this shit. Hello. So, I'm good waiting for 8 inches of snow. Yeah, we got snow. You saw in the picture, but not a whole. Hi, Patricia. How are you? Sherry Leach, Jean Phillips. So that is a really good thing. Can I join your live, baby boy? Well, let me see. I have specifics because I'm live on YouTube and I don't let anybody come live with me on TikTok unless they're going to be sure I can be sure that they're not going to be rude, crude, belligerent, or otherwise disrespectful, or bring up topics of conversation that YouTube will ban me for, right? I know, I love it. Steven said, sick of this shit. Loves your name. Love my glasses. Well, thank you. So, let me have a sip of tea. So, I've got to pop this out if I can find it. Oh yeah, I can just do this, can't I? I'm going to pop the chat out for a second. Oh, it's not going to let me, is it? Oh, nasty. Okay, so we'll do it this way. We will restore chat there. We will pop the chat out. And we will say hello to the participants. Autumn Gypsy, Avonlea Ann, Betty Randall, Seashell Surf. Hi, aloha. Jean Phillips, hey, Joe Mama. Julie Otteson, just me. Lacey Black, Mr. Bucky. Arr. Patricia, Johnny Carson, Sherry Leach, Stephen Seedfeld, and Tigger Bouncing. Now, I'm going to do this again. Pop out that chat, bring it on over here, and then put it on live chat. And we're back. So much light in the background. I know. Well, I could do this, but then my clouds look really gray. I could shut them off, and then they just go gray. You see? If you would prefer that, or I could just turn them on, change the color to something nice and dim, and just make it on, not jump, not fade. No, it's going to do whatever it wants. Hey, Helga, how are you? Becky, how are you? I didn't forget you. You weren't on the list because you hadn't said anything in a while. Margaret Oliver, Deborah C. Oh, it's good. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I know we've been getting snow off and on all night and all day. It's not really, but Howie couldn't get out of the driveway this morning with his little car, so he had to take my truck to work. And he said, boy, I'm glad I don't have to drive that pig every day. So here's what's going on in my life, folks. And if you're here from our half-acre homestead and you're only here because you missed the lives, that's great. But if you're here from hey, it looks like I got kitty cat ears on. If you're here from our half-acre homestead and you don't want to be, you just want to catch up, I'm doing a tea break later for tomorrow on our half-acre homestead, just letting y'all know. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Sonia. I have a really hard time seeing the chat here. So I went through the churn last night is what I wanted to say. And for the first time in a very, very, very long time, raise your hand if you've ever had to go into the bathroom and scream into a towel until you're exhausted. Like until you can't, because the power of emotion is just too much to hold. That was me last night. And I'm pretty sure I was an hour crying before I could go to sleep, before I could calm myself enough to meditate. Just one of those things where life just picks you up and churns you, puts you through the grinder. And I don't know where I'm going to end up. But if I'm sitting here and I'm talking and loving on you guys, pretty sure I'm going to end up on top, right? Yes, exactly. Right. So you know what I mean. We all have those moments. And it has happened more so because of, the way our world has been over the last 2 years. Right? And so, I mean, I had no idea that someone in my family who is in opposite camps with me on jabs and masks. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't realize they had been watching my videos and had a bit of a breakdown over me saying I'm going maskless in the near future, and they're like, ah! It's like you don't get to I am the grown up. I am a grown up, and the last time I checked, I have a driver's license, and I'm free, sort of. Thank you, Turdo. Okay, we won't go there. I'm free. I'm going to be 50. I'm almost 58 years old. I have and I don't need anybody's permission to do what I need to do. Hey, Mama Cat, darling, thank you, sweetheart, for stepping up. So I don't need anybody's permission to make my life more sane for me. You feel me? So, like my color, I've been giving away my rights to everybody else. The only person who has any say in what I do with my life is my husband. Why? Because he's standing in it with me. He's part of me, right? But when my husband went to bed last night, he was also in the churn. Not as bad as me, but he was not in a place of peace. And that's not how people are supposed to go to sleep at night, you know? Don't think it will work on all your veg needs. What are you talking about, sweetheart? Stephen, please don't use the muffin tin idea. I'm not sure I understand you, Stephen. I'm not sure I understand. You know what? If you want to be on TikTok, Mama Cat, and be moderator there, thank you very much. You don't have to be in both places at once. Just know that I'm aware of your presence, and I'm very grateful for you. And grateful for Seashell, who's here. Hey! How's it going, 4x4? I'm having a better day. I have been, what some people don't realize is that I have been working, this journey I have been on that started over 2 years ago is now working its way into the physical part of the journey for me, which means, within the next couple of months, I'm getting a treadmill because I'm, and everybody's going, it's okay, Bev, I just don't want not to be with my YouTube family. Okay, Mama Cat, we know you're here. Vincent Pellegrino! Well, that's where I'm going, Lacey, because I don't want to get into it. I don't want to discuss it because it is YouTube. My point is I used my Halloween mask, and I did all the do things except that, and I isolate, and I still got sick. You know what my point is? My point is, I'm pretty sure my natural immune system will be just fine. Thank you very much. But that's me. That's not me making choices for other people. That's my own choice. But anyway, we're talking about getting me a treadmill. Secondhand, can't afford a new one. Can't afford it this month. It might even be into March before I get it. Exactly, Lacey Black. Thank you. I'm an adult. Encourage your viewers to share your live. Okay, and invite more friends. Share the live. Invite more friends. I don't know. So there's something coming up in my life that this journey is going to be on Life with the Wolfies. Okay. You may see me on a treadmill one day. You may hear me talking about some of the nutritional things that I'm doing for me. I have approached my cousin Sean's wife, her name is Brenda, and she offered me over like 2 years ago almost to do yoga online with her. And now I'm getting ready. Okay. Because my whole point, like, people are, hi, PJ, how are you, darling? My whole point is for the treadmill is not necessarily like everyone's like, oh, it's just a waste of cardio time. It's all cardio. I said, no, you don't understand. This is why I don't share a lot with a lot of people. The treadmill is to help build the muscle in my calves and thighs because I'm not physically moving about in a consistent manner enough. So I need to build up the thigh and my back muscles, my thigh muscles, and my shin and my calf muscles to support my knees. Okay. And I'm losing weight. I'm already losing weight. It's really been a long, slow process, but I have not gained any winter weight this year. So there's that. So the treadmill is actually going to be for me so that when I walk outside, my legs will be better able. See, when I walk outside, I'm more of a shuffle and I can trip over a pebble and it's dangerous for me. Right? But I'll be blistered if I'm taking my walker to the garden this summer. Right? So if I build up my muscles in my legs, right? And in my calves, and then I work on some kind of chair yoga to get me more supple, get me more straight, get things more physically in a line, I have a feeling I'm going to be able to function much better, when I'm walking in the garden, when I'm walking at the racetrack, right? Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. I am not going to buy new batteries for that scooter. I want to walk, and I'm gonna. That's it. That's all. I do, Vincent. I do. That's the only requirements I have that it will hold. Hey, Lily Ann Proxipzuk. I'll say Liliana. Oh, I used to know a girl in school. Her name was Liliana, and it was spelt with a J, like Lijana. It was, I do believe it was Czechoslovakian, and I went to school with her, I think, for a year in Toronto when I was a kid. Whose birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you. You're in good company. A good Capricorn, I see. You're 40 miles east of Charlotte. So, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so very much. So hearts on TikTok are like thumbs up here, except YouTube stingy only lets you give a 1 thumbs up. Hearts on TikTok, you can give as many as you want. You can give as many as you want. It's wonderful. Thank you for that. You're doing my heart good with those hearts, in all honesty. Hey, Mama Dukes, how's it going? Okay, Stephen, talk to me about these muffin tins. I don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about. Thank you, Stephen. What are we talking about? Muffin tins. Miss Bev, 2nd was my B-day. Had a great day. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Here's Patricia. Happy birthday to you. Mwah. Happy birthday, darling. Oh yeah, there goes. Okay, so hopefully I didn't miss any, but I'm glad I didn't break my left leg. My foot went into a floor vent and I fell hard. Oh, Rhonda, you're so lucky you didn't break your leg. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so glad. Muffin tins to space out holes for planting. No. I'm just going to plant the way I normally plant. But this year, I'm going to Montana, red, white, and blue. Welcome. Hello. How are you? We just got caught up on Yellowstone. Whoa, what a series. So thank you all so very much. You're welcome. Well, I'm glad I made your day. You know, sometimes, folks, we don't realize how much power we have. Not sometimes, we never realize how much power we have. Well, I'm glad you're doing wonderful. Big Sky, Montana. Check your chicken, dear. Poke it at the joint. We're having chicken and rice. Dutch oven chicken, cast iron Dutch oven chicken and rice. And instead of the peppers and the onions and the mushrooms I always throw in the stir fry, I used a jar of home canned chunks of carrots, some frozen celery, and onion. And I used the juice from the carrots to cook the rice. And I used, thank you, Bin and Shasha, I used rosemary oil to prep the chicken before I seasoned it. Yeah, we're not going to talk about my birthday, Av and Leanne. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know what you were talking about. Like, I've heard people do this muffin tin thing. No. You know, I just do things the way I think. The more mechanical we get with planting, the less the plants like it. I'm in communion with my plants. Okay. And so the more I just go out there and talk to them and plant them and tuck them in and all that stuff, they do better. They do better. You got 14. Hey, Autumn Leaf, you got 14 inches of snow? No problem. It's just that nobody sings you happy birthday. I thought I would write it out for you. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about it. Nobody sings me happy birthday except my Bobby Joe. Thank you. What a beautiful heart. Isn't that gorgeous? But I do get calls from my older siblings who remember my birthday. And my eldest brother and my sister usually sing to me. Hey, Beth Miller, how's it going, sweetheart? Please, if I'm a little, hi, Sandra Moore. You can't imagine 14 inches of snow? Oh, man. Yeah, that's just a good, that's just a good winter day here. So, we got 12 inches and counting over here. Well, I don't need, I'm happy with what we got. So far, we haven't gone to minus 20, and I haven't had to deal with more than 6 inches of snow. I'm loving that. Right, dear? Just right for us. Any heavier or any less, Howie doesn't work, or he works too much. So my birthday isn't until Monday, Sandra. Oh, there's a huge delay? Okay. I will be 58 years old on Monday, and guess what? My life's just starting. Right, baby? Excuse me, I have to go check the chicken, make sure I'm not poisoning my husband. Give me a second. Give me a second, dear. It's my right knee. Oh, thank God this desk has a nice ledge on it that I can grab. I live in terror of the day it's going to give out before I get better. Oh. It's just because the lid was on it. Give me a fork. Oh, now see that view? It's perfect. Look at that. Okay. There you go. Don't forget your dips. I forgot. I should have gotten you to take the lid off the last 15 minutes to crust up the skin. No, it's all right. Just put the lid on it, babe. You take what you need. We had ridiculous backup on the freeway, proving to anyone that knows me why to have an emergency kit in vehicles. Absolutely. Probably about inches, or about It says inches already. Very rare for us here. Well, we get snow, you know. We got, I can't remember, the last couple of years are running together, okay, in their sameness and in the bull crap that's going on. Not the bull crap, excuse me. I don't mean to minimize what's going on because it's really, really major stuff that's going on. But I don't mean, I'm not gonna, I don't want to get it on this. It's not conducive, okay, to peace for me right now. Sold my house in September of 2018. So I am now prepping my boyfriend of sad. Can you make him feel better? Okay, what would you, how? Baby, I'm a different breed. Be careful how you ask that question. Hi, Mrs. Bev. I have some leaves in a garbage bag that was wet, and we lifted the bag up the other day and found worms on the concrete. Are there any types of worms that you should not put in your garden? Were they red and wiggly pink worms, the kind that come out in the rain? Because if they were earthworms, throw them buggers in the garden. Absolutely. If they didn't look like worms, then don't put them in. Worms are worms. Whether they're red wigglers or night crawlers, they're all good for the garden. Am I right, Stephen? He wants a joke. I toot and you choke? Sorry, that's as potty mouth as I can get at the moment. Tonight is going to be the coldest night of the year so far. Really? I think we got down to, what did we get down to the other night, dear? Minus 16?
We had 18, 19 already this year.
Okay, well, we haven't gone to minus 20, so that's my, I'm not going outside ever temperature. Hey, Ma, how are you? Worms is worms. Thank you, Stephen. So, yeah. Listen, at this point, I hear everybody talking about moving and gathering and going off grid and all this wonderful stuff. It ain't going to change anything except one thing. You got the right idea. You got the right idea. But you don't have to move to have the community and raise all of our vibrations. You feel me? So we just gather. We just gather. And we raise our vibrations with love and light and positive energy. Apparently, can anybody tell me right now what my aura color is? Anybody out there? Can you? And I'm not asking you to guess. I'm asking if anybody out there can see my aura and tell me what color it is. But being a little more self-sufficient, Bev, is always a good idea, especially these days. Oh, hell yes. Being more sufficient. If you can go somewhere where there is land, what I'm saying is I'm trying to do this in a way that I'm not going to come off in the wrong direction, okay? What I'm saying is if you can do that, great. If you can find somewhere where a piece of land where you could be a little more self-sufficient, you don't have to go completely off grid or anything like that. You do that. But I'm talking to the people who can't necessarily do that. We can still be a part of the vibrational raise, the vibrational rise in humanity by linking up. We don't necessarily have to. Like there is Optimistic Prime on TikTok. She started a whole, she has an app where people who are nomadic and moving around and looking for places where they can gather in communities on land and all that stuff. She has an app for that. And I'm sorry if I don't know what it is, but her name is Optimistic Prime. Optimistic Prime. And I think the optimistic has a Y in it. Hard to tell with the lights. Really? Greenish, green, pink, purple, orange. Okay. People are giving a lot, but so far, yeah, you're all right in the ballpark. These are all the colors I've been seeing today. Gotta run, Bev. Going to the store. They have roast on sale. Buy one, get one free. Woohoo! Good grab, Nina. Tomorrow is Freaky Friday for all patrons. Tomorrow is Freaky Friday, and I'm going to spend the day tidying up, getting ready, because this weekend is my work weekend for canning. I'm going to be canning spaghetti sauce and jam and stuff. So I'll be making videos this weekend for next week for our half-acre homestead. But I know you guys, Life with the Wolfies, you guys have been really patient waiting for this channel to kind of take off with other than live streams, but it's coming. But like me, I'm doing everything I'm doing in my life. I make one change. I make one change. Thank you for the hearts. I can't see, but purple got in my head. Well, that's because purple's my signature color. It's my color, right? I just lost myself. Oh, right. Okay. Life with the Wolfies. You guys are going on a journey with me. You're going to get everything that is not canning, cooking, unless it's like, I'm going to show you how to make a vegetarian meal, or this is what I'm doing during my fast, or whatever that comes down. Okay. But you may be with me live when I'm trying yoga for the first time. You may be with me live while I'm on the treadmill, or I may film this stuff and then edit it so you get, a good giggle. But my point is in moving forward, just because I'm turning 58 and I can barely walk does not mean I can't change that. Correct? Hang on a second. What's that? Sorry, I think I was throwing you off at the hearts, but I love your advice. Well, thank you, darling. No, I love the hearts. I love seeing them float up there like this. Vroom, vroom. I love hearts. Actually, hearts are my shape. If you think about it, dump everything in your garden, worms and all. That's my man talking, my buddy Steven. I love you. I am 51 and trying out a bunch of new stuff. They're getting out of a 20-year relationship. Well, the whole trick for me is make one change at a time. See, if you make too many changes and you set too many goals, they may be all really good goals, but if you try and do them all at once, you're setting yourself up for failure, and that is a mental, there's no such thing as failure. That's not the way to do it, okay? The way to do it is pick the most important change first. Make it a part of your life. Get comfortable with it. Roll in it. Shower with it. Okay? And when it becomes a part of you, then make one more change and do the same. If you try and do it all at once, you're only going to be feeling and beating yourself up for not accomplishing it. When there's nothing in those goals that you can't accomplish, if you go about it the right way and start with one change. And you know what my one change started out as that I can remember? Drinking more water. Yes, I started canning and all that stuff years before that. But I learned at one point, just before we left and moved to Quebec, I learned that drinking more water is an important way to flush toxins out of your system, and it's the simplest way to start, right? Hey, JM, how's it going? Group yoga with the Wolfies. Well, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know if my treadmill is going to be in here or in my living room. I don't even know when I'm getting my treadmill, because January is a really crappy month for ad revenue. And we all know that AdSense is still taking 25% of my income for US taxes that has not been fixed yet. So it's going to be now, I have to work all that harder just to get through January so that February's paycheck doesn't leave me without bill money, right? I have to make a certain amount every month from my YouTube income to pay those two bills, right? And January is always a month that I struggle. I did okay in December, which will be January's paycheck, but February, because the problem is nobody has ad revenue money. They've blown their wad on Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. You know what I mean? And New Year's. So, hey, Mrs. Mac, how are you? Absolutely agree on the water. I just can't do it. Well, you know what? I was always told growing up, I'd say, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. Yes, Skippy, our birthday is Monday. No, I'm not excited. I really don't give a crap. But about yours? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will remind me on Sunday when we do our Sunday live, and I will sing to you, Skippy. Okay? Hey, Bev, I ordered my yellow bush beans. Guess what the variety is? Goldenrod. Isn't that the name of one of your cottages? Isn't that your cottage? Hey, Melody Ray. And I'm all in the background listening and fixing supper. How's dinner, dear? How's supper? Awesome. So, sad, actually. Okay, well, here, let's talk about water, okay? When I was a kid, I was born in Toronto, Ontario. And we didn't move to the country until I was 12. Now, I have hated water for many, 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 many years. I had high hopes for getting a remote job, and they are mandating the jab. Well, sweetheart, you do you. You do what you have to do. But guess what? I would tell them I would get a lawyer. I would just say, lawyer up. I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to really get into this at the moment because this is bumping really close against getting me demonetized on YouTube. So I have to be really careful. But I am going to I may continue to go live on TikTok after this so we can, let the bells ring out, the banners fly, and wave our flags. But at the moment, I want to talk about water. Jeanette Battaglia. Thank you so very much. That's not what I was doing, honey. I wasn't asking. You know that, right? I'm not gonna. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Okay. Water, when I was a kid, tasted like chlorine. It didn't smell like chlorine. It would to me now if I were to go back. Battaglia. I love that name. Thank you so much. I hope you join me on TikTok too. Unless you don't want to hear my political opinions, then stay off of TikTok, right? I'm not allowed to send any of my TikTok to family anymore. Apparently, I'm just too. Apparently, they just look at me like I've sprouted extra heads or something because of who I am. I bought a soda stream, not to make soda, but to make bubbly water that I used to buy. Okay. Well, thank you, Janet, very, very much. And I do appreciate it. Okay. So water. All right. I used to swim in a public pool at Pape Center. Public pools, your eyes would come out cloudy. You had halos around your eyes for hours after swimming in a public pool because the amount of chlorine they had to use, right? And then I would go home and I would be thirsty and I'd look in the fridge. We used skim milk powder. Very rarely did we get like frozen orange juice, but if we did get it, it was like for Saturday mornings or breakfast. You weren't allowed to like drink it. Or tea or water. Those were the things you could have. Powdered milk, water, or tea was the mainstay, right? Um, and my dad would say, have a glass of water. And I'd say, no, Dad, it hurts my stomach. Oh, no, that's bullshit. Water's God juice. Thank you for the roses. Thank you. Water's God's juice, right? It's straight from the earth. Blah, 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 blah. We lived in Toronto. There were still lead friggin' pipes back then. Okay? Right? I was living in an industrial, polluted cesspit 2 blocks away from the industrial waterfront of Lake Ontario. Okay? Water tasted like shit. It tasted like chlorine. I couldn't drink it. And then we moved to Apsley, and my dad had a well drilled. Hi, Karen. How you liking having that name these days, eh? But then we had a well drilled. And for the first while, when we would go up on weekends and Dad would work on the house and stuff like that, because they built it, he had a hand pump put on the well, and it was the most teeth-achingly cold water you would ever want to drink, and not a hint of chlorine, but it was so full of iron that it made me sick just to smell it. So I have learned that water and I have a very unique relationship. Then I moved. We lived in Howard, and the kids and I lived in Peterborough. And again, the water is so highly chlorinated that it would burn my skin in the wintertime if I had a bath. So we are all free radicals because we go against the mainstream, aka awake. Hey, sounds wonderful. So, but when Howie and I moved from Peterborough to Colborne, we got on a place with a dug well, and the water was like bottled water. See, I'd never drink bottled water. Why? Because I refused to pay for a bottle of water, right? So then we bought our first house a year after that, and the water was the same. We just moved down the road. And someone said, Bev, start drinking water. And I said, I don't like water. I can't get it down my gullet, right? And they said, put it in a bottle or use a straw. And that's how my journey of water began. It wasn't the water, folks. It was the taste. And I'm lucky enough to be on a well now that I drink. You know, Howie puts a glass of water on my bedside. God love him. He puts a glass of water on my bedside every night. And I get up at least once in the night and refill that. I drink at least 2 big tumblers of water. And I'm sorry, but, you know, the kettle just turns my water into yum yum juice called tea. Bev, as crazy as this sounds, the best way to flush toxins is to avoid drinking water altogether. Dry fasting is best. Many may disagree with this. It's something to experience for yourself. I get that, Angie, and we've talked about that. But I'm just starting with the grape juice, okay? I know that. But in the meantime, I know that because you want to dehydrate it so that the toxins are released. But the thing is when you're sick, right? All these things. If you know, water. If you've got a chest infection, water. Why? Because you want to take this, for instance, the doctors tell you clear fluids. Water's even best. Why? Because the dry chunks and the hard chunks that are living in your lungs when you've got a chest cold need to be hydrated and softened so that they can come to the forefront. Otherwise, you're just trying to cough up rocks, so to speak. You know what I mean? Or at least that's what it feels like. We can't drink our well water, so have it delivered. Oh, that's horrible. You need water to live, even when fasting. Well, now we're not going to get into an argument. There are different methods of fasts, and those different fasts do different things for different people. So let's not debate. Trust me when I say Angie knows what she's talking about when it comes to fasts. How many different kinds of fasts have you done, Angie? It thins the mucus so you can expel it. Exactly. Hey, Joe, how are you, darling? Uh, hey, Sue Miles, how are you? No, I can't invite anybody to go live with me while I'm on YouTube, which I'm doing right now. But I'm going to remain going live on TikTok after this, just so we can, talk freely about what the crap's going on in the world. So my skin and lips get too dry when I'm dehydrated. If I don't drink enough, it's just, I like adding apple cider vinegar to my water, but that's just me. Well, organic apple cider vinegar with the mother is the best, right? Even a teaspoon in a liter of water you will benefit. But the cleanse I'm going to be going on, yes, I said it, was probably in a month. I'm going to be using distilled water. Now, there's a big difference between distilled water and bottled water. Distilled water leaches nutrients. So if you were to say cook your vegetables in distilled water, you would be better off to drink the water after cooking the vegetables than eating the vegetables. You see what I mean? Because that's distilled water. But the cleanse I'm going on is, I'll be lucky if I make it 3 days. No, I won't be lucky. I'm determined to make it 3 days. I'm going to push for 10. But I mean, I've been hinting at this for a really long time, guys. I'm taking my friggin' life back. I'm tired of living in the body of a grandmother. I love being a grandmother. I'm not okay. I am not a grandmother. I am a grandmother spirit. Okay. But it's time to stop living in the body of a grandmother because it no longer suits my purpose. I'm taking my life back. Distilled water is potable, absolutely potable, but you get it from the drugstore. Absolutely. No problem. No problem. Did Angie answer? Or are you still counting how many different cleanses you've been on? Not all of the cleanses you've been on, Angie, just the different ones. I'm doing the grape juice and lemon cleanse with I don't know, Angie, what cleanse am I doing? Because she'll be able to tell you the actual name for it. Now it's a 30-day cleanse. I'm hoping to do 3. And a lot of it is going to depend on whether or not I can use an enema bag. Sorry, I don't mean to be so descriptive, but there it is. It is Welch's grape juice, 1.36 liters of Welch's or Kirkland grape juice with the juice of 3 lemons squeezed in. I get up in the morning, I see Howie after work, I go back to bed. And I get up and I have an herbal tea, which is made with how many different herbs, Angie? I'm doing 3 days to start. Yeah. And humidifiers throughout the house for his breathing. Wow. No, not grapefruit. Grape juice. Welch's grape juice. And 3 lemons. And in the morning, I take a tea, a decoction actually, of, I think it's 105. I thought there was only 21 herbs, Ange. But anyway, I'm taking a decoction of a tea of herbs to support my organ function. And then I'm going to be, for the rest of the day, I'm going to drink my 1.36 liters of grape juice and lemon. Closer to supper time, I'm going to take a cup, half a cup of the juice. I'm going to mix in a certain amount of bentonite clay, activated charcoal, and psyllium husk. And it mixes together and thickens kind of like a pudding. And I'm going to eat that. And then I'm going to drink my last cup of juice. And then I'm going to, as I go to bed, I'm going to have my herbal tea. And in the morning, I will do my enema and then start my day again. 23 formulas, 105 herbs. No, I don't like grapefruit juice. So what this is supposed to do, okay, this is a detox cleanse, but it's also it's it's a digestive system cleanse. Because all these wonderful changes I'm making in my diet, which people just go, oh yeah, here she's cooking with soup again. That's once in a blue moon, guys. And I do those videos so that you can see it. But you would get really bored if I showed you what we eat every day. Because it's pretty much chicken, rice, and veg. Meat, pasta, and veg. Spaghetti once a week. Soup once a week, and we go meatless at least once a week for supper. But you don't see all that because it would be really, really boring. Hey, Butterfly, how's it going? Butterfly Grandma, do you have anything to lower A1C diabetic? I'm not a doctor, and I'm new to this journey of the cleanse. But I'll tell you something. Let me tell you something I do know. There is a diet called Raw in 30 days. And it will reverse diabetes if you do the whole thing. Howie made it 10 days. And he could go off his diabetic meds. Now, I'm not telling you this because I'm an expert. I'm telling you this because the Raw in 30 days diet, really, if you can afford it, worked. But what was giving me problems was all these substitute meals. My problem, okay, with diets or changing the way I eat. Cleanse for my kidneys and liver. I've got a cyst on both. Talk to Angie. Angie, give her your email address. Angie doesn't actually do a lot of emails, but connect with Angela Passmore on Facebook Messenger, Autumn. Tell her who you are. But I watched the whole video on it. I did the course and all that stuff. Now, Briar and I, while Howie was on the Raw in 30 days, Briar was living here at the time. We went vegetarian, which means we had eggs and we had cheese and we had dairy. But it was really expensive to feed Howie in that first 10 days because he was basically allowed kale, romaine, zucchini, nuts, seeds, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, and stuff like that. So I was like spending $50 every couple of days trying to make him raw vegan lasagnas and stuff. So this is hi. Say no to communism. Blah! Say no to communism. So if you want to explore something to help reverse or even manage your diabetes, please, please, please go to look up Raw in 30 days. Okay? And if you can live like that, now I'm actually bumping up against the idea of becoming a vegetarian or a vegan or a whole food plant-based diet. Why? Because meat and me are not agreeing anymore. Chicken, yeah, right? But meat and me are not agreeing. And I never thought I'd say that. Now, if I do become kind of a vegetarian, it's not going to be like anybody else, I don't think. Because my idea of vegetarian is, lots of fruits and vegetables and eggs and proteins and beans and stuff with meat once in a blue moon. That's me. That's what I'm shooting for anyway. So I won't be a vegetarian. I won't be a vegan. But right now, I see. I had a flash last night. In all the churn of my anguish that I was going through last night, you don't want to know, but let's put it this way. I was slamming doors and saying, F it, I'll do it all myself. I don't need anybody. That kind of grind feeling. And poor Howie was like, he got it. He was like understanding my emotion right there. But the flash was, I saw myself where my quilt stand is on a treadmill, looking outside at my garden growing, not looking at the TV, looking out the windows at the garden. And I wasn't thin, but I wasn't like this. I was down at least 100 pounds, and I was sweating, and I was marching, and it was like, oh, there you are. There you are. That I've lost 245 pounds, but the last 55 is not moving. Ugh. You may want to try a cleanse, some kind of a cleanse, but really be careful. And please, please, please do your research, because not all cleanses are created equal. There's this master cleanse. I know people who've done that. I mean, my family's full of people who've done cleanses. Everybody but me. So I'm working on it. Well, Stephen, I love my meat. But you know what? Every time I cook this delicious food, I honest to God am craving like a big plate of steamed broccoli. That's like, I could just eat like that. Just give me a plate or a bowl of slices of watermelon and grapes and wedges of clementines and slices of cucumber. And I'd be just happier than a pig in shit. But there is going to be, see, this is what I'm paying attention to. Thank you, Micah. Micah's Apothecary. Thank you so much for the reading. Hey, thank you so much for that reading. It was like, I got it. I totally got it. It was like absolutely spot on. And then the next day, the churn hit. And that's how I knew it was totally spot on. Because the forces, recognized, oh shit, she's really waking up. And then the churn hit. But I'm already rising to the top with the butter. You know what I mean? I honestly felt so called to you with that deck. It was made for you. Well, hopefully I will get it again someday. I've been given crap for I have 2 tarot decks. I don't use tarot decks anymore. But that one called to me. You're right. Andrew, what are you doing out of bed? It's like 11:15 or 11:30 there, darling. How are you? How is your pain? Bev, perhaps you need to start off slowly. Do 2 days. Listen, Stephen, you're not hearing me, sweetheart. This is not all going to happen overnight. Were you here when I was talking about one change at a time? That's how I do things. That's why it's taken me almost 58 years to get to this point. I've had to deal with the suppression of my gifts throughout my environment my whole life. It wasn't until I met Howard, drunk as we got, and stayed for 7 years. It wasn't until I met my husband that I realized that he's okay with whoever I am as long as I don't hurt him. You know what I mean? He supports any journey I have, and just like I support his racing when I can. But now we have the sunshade. I'm going to be there a lot more this winter. But it's all about having a support system. Angela Passmore is one of the biggest support systems I've ever had. I've had many, many members of the same family say, oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. Oh, you need to do this. But when it comes right down to it, where are they? I'm not saying they should be here, but put your money where your mouth is, people. Angela's here for me, has been every day, and she's been slowly working on me for well over a year to get to this point. Haven't you, Angela? Yes. Angela is a Reiki practitioner. She is a massage therapist without the title for many, many reasons. The pain is high, hence I'm awake. Oh, darling. I have frozen watermelon juice in the fridge. Hang on, Andrew. Chat, please stop. Don't let the chat move again. Stop, please. You're still there. Here, Andrew. Here. Anybody in pain, come on. Rub your hands with me. You ready? Feel that heat. Oh, the back. Breathe. Okay, now do this. Okay, rub your hands together. Not just this way. Now rub the backs of your hands. Okay, rub the backs of your hands really vigorously, like 10 or 20 times till you feel the warmth. And rub them like this again, and now shake. All right? Give yourself a hug. All right? Give yourself a hug. Now, you all warm and tingly? Shake your hands, if you can. Now rub your arms. Stimulate. Now, I want you to take your hands like claws, but without your nails, okay? And starting at your eyebrows, put your thumbs here. Put your thumbs here. And starting at your eyebrows and your temples, see how I've got it all the way across here? And now gently make circular motions. Now stop and push all the way back. Hard but slow. Push all the way down to the back of your neck. And then pull it down like this into your spine and your shoulders. Okay? I don't know what got me to do that, but I feel great. Thank you. You know what? I've been working on this for some time. And the truth is, Angela will tell you, I have been this way my entire life. It has been a lifetime. What you're seeing is a lifetime of me breaking out of the shell. Remember me talking about how I came to the awareness that everything I know, everything I understand, everything that I see as I see it, as my perception, has been taught to me by somebody else. Learned behavior. And it's not just behavior, it's thought patterns. It's how we perceive ourselves, how we see ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, all comes from other people, institutions, schools, hospitals, churches, municipal offices, parliament, TV, everything, the way we look at life and how we look at ourselves is somebody else's fucking opinion. And we've been wearing that weight way too long, right? So I'm going to share this because I've told people this before. When this got really bad in the last couple of years, less than a year ago, I literally realized, I had that realization. Hey, baby, how How's it going? I had the realization, that realization. It was like one of those moments. You get to recreate yourself in the image of your choice. And I'm not talking physical image. I pulled myself, my soul, my spirit. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so very much. How's my baby? When are you coming to visit? I pulled my soul, my light body, through the eye of a needle, and I scraped off all of man's interference. And when I say man's, I mean humanity's interference. All the crap that is stuck to me by religion, by politics, by being, the difference between right and wrong. Whoever said right and wrong is a black and white thing? It's not. It is only we are humanity, but we're still individuals. And we've come so close to having ourselves shoved into these molds. These last couple of years, they came so close to succeeding. But when you pull your spirit body through the eye of a needle and you scrape off everybody else's preconceived notions, everybody else's opinions, everybody else's teachings, everybody else's understanding of the way of life, and you look at your life with new eyes and you go, holy cow, look at me. Those of you who've been with me more than 5 years, do you see the difference? Yes, my baby. Yes, my baby. Mama is here. Okay? So do you see the difference in who I am today and who I am becoming? And trust me, you never stop becoming. But there's one thing I learned the lesson almost too late, is that you never, ever should carry the weight of other people's opinions on your shoulders. Cut it loose. It's dead weight. And it's only going to drag you down. I am moving forward. Oh my God, Donna, thank you. I am moving forward. And every time the churn, I'm in a butter churn, man. And every time it churns, the acid goes to the bottom and the butter rises to the top. But it always churns in between, right? So yesterday was the churn. And guess what? I ripped a couple of more hooks out of my spirit body, didn't I? Because every time you wear the weight of somebody else's opinion, every time you look at yourself through the eyes of somebody who doesn't love you the way you're supposed to love yourself, their hooks are still in you then. So yeah, it fucking hurts. You yank those hooks out and you go, oh, but then you float a little, don't you? I'm floating. Wow, how many more hooks do I got to go before I'm like, up here? Nobody has the right to tell you who you are. That's what this journey's about, isn't it? We may not know who we're going to be from one day to the next, but we know where we want to be. We know where we need to be. We need, okay? Because that card reading from Micah's Apothecary lit a fire in my soul. And it wasn't a burning fire, okay? It was like a crack that just flooded me with, oh, yes! I see that. I feel that. That's where I'm going. Yes, you hit it right on the head. And the next day the churn came going, oh yeah? Oh yeah? What good is that going to do you? What good is a treadmill going to do you? All you're doing is wasting cardio. What good is this? Do you know what you're doing when you're going on this cleanse? Yeah. And through the eye of the needle again we go. And one day, I know that all the barnacles, the weight of other people's opinions, the weight of other people's judgments are all going to be scraped away. And I am going to rise to my center. And nothing's going to stop me then. Hell can't stop me now. Right, God? Here we go. Now listen, it's been an hour, and I'm going to stay live on TikTok if you want to join me over there when we're done, because it's about to get, I don't know what it's about to do, but who is behind me? My father. I know, Christelle. Yeah, I'm in liftoff mode. I'm in liftoff mode. And I'm kicking away the clamps that are holding my ship in place. So now is the time. It's my father. Oh, and your name is Daddykins. It's my dad. My dad, actually, it's my dad, my Uncle Jim, my Uncle Joe, my Aunt Jane, and my mom. Oh, wow, the whole family's here, or a good portion of them. So, are you with me on the journey? Life with the Wolfies? This is going to be something like you've never seen before. But in the meantime, let's... I love you too, sweetheart. Let's take a nice deep... Howie, darling! Excuse me. We're going a bit deaf, and so please plug your ears. You saved me from whistling. Could you turn that down just a little bit? I'm closing. No, I haven't lost the flicker. Which flicker? No, it's over by my chair. Or it's in my chair. Or it's on the floor by my chair. I'll be right back. But for those who care to, we're going to be closing with a push of spiritual light and love to the world, as well as thanking our Creator and for bringing us together today. But I have to go help Howie find the flicker. Okay. Here goes my knee. Oi! And I think the idea of the studio downstairs is a good one, but I think it needs some repair. So I think we're going to revamp it and more stuff. You didn't look in the basket beside my chair. What was beside my chair? Yeah, but you didn't think. How was dinner, dear? Do you want more? Just save me a half a piece of chicken. Go right ahead. It was in my sewing basket. Baby, I'm a different breed. All right. This is the time I give everybody who doesn't want to stay time to leave. Thank you all so much for your gifts. It's going to be a big help come February. Thank you very much. Now, for all those who care to, this is not about religion. This is where we drop the walls that different religions have slammed between us. And we connect directly, personally, and individually with our faith. and we link hearts and we link hands. And this is how it goes. So I'm just going to take a puff on my puffer, blow my nose so I don't have to in the middle of it. Seashell, can you put my TikTok up for Autumn Gypsy? It's Mrs. Wolfie. It's Mrs. Wolfie is my TikTok. All right. Excuse me for blowing my nose, but so it's a natural act, isn't it? Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, Vintage, how are you? Thank you. Can you tell Mrs. V to pray for him too? Vintage, who are we talking about, darling? Everybody's included. Everybody's included in the prayers. Whoops. Sorry, didn't want to show my cigarette on camera. That was an accident. Not yet, Doo-Doo. Not until I am off of YouTube, okay? Give me a second. Ah, there it is. All right. Here we go. Everybody link hearts and link hands, okay? Take a nice deep breath. And we'll do some card readings over on TikTok for some practice. Tips will be appreciated. Hey, God, source of all, creator of all things in the multiverse, including Christ, who you gave us to teach us the most important lesson of love. How's it going? Thank you, God, for this wonderful live stream today. It's been a really awesome get together, and I'm feeling so good. I've risen to the top of the churn again, and I'm floating. So thank you for that, God. And thank you for all my friends who join us and help lift me up on days that have been, the day after things have been really rough. You know what I mean? But God, now is the time we come together and we link hearts and we link hands. And although we've lifted each other up through this live stream, we are going to lift everybody up to you, God. The sick, the weak, the frightened, the infirm, the addicted, the neglected, the rejected, the misled. All are welcome. We lift them up to you, God, so that the sunshine of your love can pour down over them like warm honey. And even if they don't know where it's coming from, let them know peace. And now, God, we ask, now that we've taken care of the emergency measures, we ask that you flood us with your divine light, light so brilliant that man has not been able to reproduce it. And we become a ring of pulsing, solid, divine light. And when we can no longer see each other because we are nothing but the light of God, we can no longer contain it. We just go poof. We push that light out. And it's like a million flares of iridescent God light that allows people to come in from the darkness and take shelter. But only those who need to be there. The dark ones, the darkness, they get pushed back because the light workers come forward and they raise that light aloft and they stand in place like Hercules and they hold until those that are taking shelter regain their strength and their light, and they also step forward. See, we know, God, the secret of love. Love and light multiplies. It adds. Love is never Love is never division or subtraction. Love is always multiply and addition. Darkness, anger, negativity, that is what subtracts and divides. So thank you, God, for giving us the light we need to walk forward and multiply our numbers. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet, merry part. Miigwech. Peace be with you. Walk in the light of God. No matter what you say when you're addressing the power or the God of your understanding, know that when we come together and we link hearts and we link hands, He is there also. Take care. God bless. Our Half Acre Homestead, there will be a tea break for tomorrow. All right. And if you're not done with me, come on over to TikTok. Mwah! Take care. God bless. I love you guys.